Storyfruit is an online platform for parents and grandparents, and it allows them to use their webcam to record bedtime stories for children. So for the kids it's great because it means that their favourite people are reading them bedtime stories in a library that they can access whenever they like and watch the same story over and over again. You know, for the parents and for the grandparents, it's great as well, because if you're a parent that travels a lot with work, or you're a grandparent who lives out of town or in a different state or even in a different country, it's a really great way to maintain a connection, particularly when you're in a different time zone and you can't Skype or do phone calls. So that's what Storyfruit's about. So we had the vision for Storyfruit, but we really quickly realised that we were going to need a very strong business and technology partner to help us to bring this to life. So we spoke to a few different companies, but the one that really stood out for us was Way2Smile Solutions, because they brought two really important things for me. The first was they really understood the business requirements that we needed to take to market. They understood the solution that we were trying to develop, they understood the end user requirements, and they came back to us with a really good understanding of our needs through a technical proposal. But they also brought new ideas as well, which is, I was really delighted to see. Ways that this could be extended into different dimensions, so that was great. But the second one was they had great technical credentials, and they had case studies and examples of other customers where they'd done very similar things. They gave me great confidence that they could develop what we were looking for. So something that was really important for me during the design and the build phase was that we don't try and build the whole thing in one go. I needed to know from end users that this actually was a concept that people bought into and were going to use, because it was a relatively untested idea at the time. And so it was important for me that we built it in modules. And that's what we did. So Way2Smile Solutions built early versions that I could take out to customers and share very quickly, get feedback and understand from them the way that they would want to experience this platform. Now, to their credit, Way2Smile were really flexible, because I came back often with user insight that made me realise actually some of this needs to go in a very different direction. And it was outside the terms of reference in the contract that we'd agreed, but they understood, the guys at Way2Smile, that we needed to move in a different direction for this thing to work. So they were very flexible, the team was great in that respect. The other thing that they were really good at that I really appreciated was that they were very good at articulating back to me the technical implications later down the line of the decisions that I was making. As I said earlier, I'm not a technical guy, and I don't understand what's going on in some parts of the website to the degree that these guys do, and that's not my job. But what they did very well was saying, well, if you make this choice, it's going to have these implications. You just need to be aware of that from an investment perspective and a future development perspective. So that was really helpful, and I really appreciated the way that they did that. So we approached the launch date, obviously with some trepidation, because you hear so many horror stories of new sites going down when they launch and all sorts of other issues. But I think because of the advice that we'd followed from Way2Smile on how to build and scale, and the customer development testing that we'd done, when we launched, we had no real issues. People were using the site well. We were getting good feedback in line with what we'd experienced through the customer development process. We did have a couple of issues around navigation that we hadn't anticipated from some user demographics that we weren't necessarily targeting. But we just made some tweaks, and again, credit to Way2Smile Solutions, because they were able to turn those things around very quickly and not impact the way that our launch curve was going. So it's been a very productive partnership with Way2Smile Solutions, and we're really looking forward at Storyfruit to continuing to partner with them moving forward.